Hi, this is Atco. You know, I got a lot of these little model cars. I got them around the house. I like them, and the ones I buy are these 118s because they have a lot of detail in them. But you know, I met a guy named Frank, and he's also a collector, and he details them way more than they came out of the box. So I did a little video about this a couple weeks ago, and we went through about 4 of his cars, and if you haven't seen it, you gotta take a look at it because it's really interesting how good he does on those. But the other day he came by and he said, hey, you might want to see what else I do. He made a 118 scale of an old garage because he remembered back, a lot of people back in the 50s, 60s had these little garages that real fancy like they are today, and just small little places where they would work on people's cars, and he remembered those, so he started building one of these little scale of those garages. He wanted me to see it, so I went and looked at it, and I'll tell you, it is really cool. So I thought maybe you guys would like to take a look at it. Now here it is, I got it, as you can see, where it's all in one little scenery that he made. He's got a couple cars in there, all 118, and all the little things he did inside to make it look like an old garage. It's got a lot of accessories that you can buy today for 118, tools and little tool boxes, and just all little details that are in this thing. It's kind of cool. So I thought we'd go through a little bit of them. One thing that you saw, you know, most of this stuff you can buy. If you look off to the side, though, little things that you can't buy. But any of these old garages, you'd see, you know, they'd have hoses or belts that you need to use, and you know, they were all along the walls, and I remember that myself as a kid. You'd always find those along any of these garages. And in the back, you know, I mean, this one had wood stove to warm up the place, and tools, and the trash can, and I mean, just about everything you would have if you had that little garage yourself. You know, it's got that Thunderbird, and back in the front, look at that, it's got oil in the front, and the creeper, and the oil pan, and I mean, just all that little stuff you would have to have. So look in the back, I mean, he's even got a fan there to get the heat out, and I mean, it's just little details all over. It's just really cool. And then if you look outside back of the place, I mean, he has one of his old cars there, and you know, they had a little battery recharger there, and I mean, you'd have one of those there too. I just thought the whole thing really looked cool. He put a lot of time into it, and the detail I thought was fantastic. So you know, this was Frank. Just does this as a hobby, and I think it's really cool. So I thought maybe you'd like to see that, so I pass that along to you. This is Atco, signing off.